from my perspective, stuff that I'm pricing is going down like crazy, right? If it's my personal house, guys that were charging 30 grand for something are now charging like 18 or 20 grand. Well, you want to talk about crazy with sites in Toronto right now.
Tell me.
So I was talking to somebody about a couple of my properties, and
Hmm.
he was saying, "Oh, these are such great properties, Darryl. These are unbelievable. You should see the shit that we're looking at right now." Did
Hmm.
you know, he said, Darryl, did you know there's 200 zoned sites for sale right now in Toronto? I guess it's probably GTA.
Yeah.
200 zoned sites. Nobody wants to buy a zone site. And of course they don't, right? Zone sites are funny because it's either
People
they're
want to
like,
buy zone sites at the right price, Daryl.
no. Normally, when you're buying a zone site, you've got to be ready to launch because you like
Sure.
that's the next thing to
But
do.
you can sell a site. There are examples of some launches doing well right now. If you release it at the right number,
Yeah,
people will buy it. It's just the number is so
the right
much
number.
lower than it was 2 years ago that the sellers can't sell it for that much.
Did you see there was like that low-rise site in Burlington that sold in
You told me.
hours? Yeah,
Yeah.
did I
See?
tell you that? I wonder where did
Yeah.
I get that from? I think a fan of the show sent that to me. It's
Yeah. So
crazy.
bottom line is like you can sell the site if you are pricing it at what the market thinks it's worth in any type of pre-construction situation. But nobody wants to take those chances. So I'm being a little bit argumentative. But bottom line is, yeah, there's not going
Now
to
is
be.
not the time. Like I
Yeah.
remember when you get close to peak, zone sites are all the rage because everybody just wants something that they can start now, start charging fees for, right? And just
Yeah.
go, 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 go,
Launch,
go.
launch,
And
launch.
they know the comps and they know what's going on. But then, like now, this is the wrong time. Unless
You
you're
need
ready
like
to,
a 5 year timeline, like to feel comfortable.
I don't know. I guess it depends on the product. I mean, I
Sure. Good
suppose
point.
there's
But you'd
product
love a 5 year timeline and that the numbers worked
and that the numbers
because
work.
you're going to be guaranteed,
3 years,
yeah, you're going to be guaranteed that you're going to have everything that you need in place.
but
What's the timeline on Thelma?
well, I'm not glad that you asked me that because
Yeah.
I don't want to really talk about it on the show. But
Yeah. Is
let's
it
just
is it
say
longer
for
or shorter than you expected?
um, what happened in the last couple of days will increase the timeline by a little bit at the moment, depending on how this ends up playing out. But let's not talk about this right now because I
Okay.
don't want to get upset and I don't want to say
Yeah.
something that could hurt me. But let's just say that the city is less impressive from my perspective than they were 3 days ago with regards
Yes.
to how they're doing things. But
Yes. Okay.
there's still a chance that the ship could be righted and that I'm talking out of my behind. But
Okay.
it's quite
I'll say
unfortunate.
no more. I'll
It's
say
quite
no
unfortunate.
more. So where are we now? Okay. So Polyevra, kudos to you. We are behind you. Now, this was something that was interesting because you on the construction side are telling me, and I believe you, that the cost of construction is coming down. Give us like some, I don't know,
Well, and I've been saying that for a
projections here.
while, and
Okay.
you have this this new report here, the what is it? The renovation and
Residential
construction
renovation price
costs.
index.
And this is kind of interesting, but this just shows again that stats are totally fucking wrong. Okay. Generally, stats are lagging. They're from I mean, they're always from previous periods, but most stats, if you actually follow stats, they get adjusted later as more information comes in. But these in particular. So if you're out there in the market and you kind of have a pulse on things, I mean, what spurs on a lot of the renovations is new purchases, right? People buy a house, they need to renovate it. And so that's happening less. But on the inverse of that, as if people that are sticking around more, they spend more on renovations because now they can't buy the house that they wanted to buy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So from my perspective, stuff that I'm pricing is going down like crazy, right? If it's my personal house, guys that were charging 30 grand for something are now charging like 18 or 20 grand. I don't see prices going up, but this report shows very clearly that prices are still going up in most areas. Okay. But
Yeah.
what's staggering about what this report shows is the amount. So it shows us from 2017 until I guess the second quarter of 2024. And the amount that the renovation costs in Ontario in particular, because this one is just insane, it's 91% increase over that period of time, which is about 7 something years, 8 years. That's almost a doubling of
Yeah.
renovation costs in Ontario in 8 years.
Yeah.
Why the fuck? What the fuck?
How
Like,
did we let
how
it
the
get out of
fuck?
control that much?
That is crazy. And this
Yeah.
is not government fees, okay? This is labor, this is materials, this is scarcity of both. Believe me, because
And it's the opportunity. So the reason prices haven't come down, this is my opinion on this, is because in new construction, you're going to be setting this out to bid with the biggest companies out there, and they're all getting it from the same sources and they're all doing the same things. And so as the cost of materials comes down, as cost of labor, all this kind of stuff changes, those bids are going to change in real time. But in the renovation world, it's a lot different. And if a guy was charging 100 grand for a basement last year, he's not going into a house this year and saying 90. He's saying, I charged 100 last year. The guy's paid 100. I'm going to go back in there and charge him 100 again. It's $100,000 for a basement. And it's much less sensitive in the renovation world than it would be on the new construction world. 100%.
like, comment, and subscribe if you got anything from one of these clips. And if you want to see some more, press something on the screen here. Boom.
That was good.
That was good. I like that. That was good.